Welcome back to the activation phase. This is Tim speaking, and I'm joined here, as always, by my lovely co-host JP. Hello, JP.
Hello. We're back.
We are back. All right, and after all these muck-ups with the...
I think we're only like 2 weeks late, but it feels like longer.
Oh, okay. No, I felt like the trouble with the bodyguards really messed with our spirit. Having to redo episodes and knowing that you published stuff that just always feels a bit bad. So we thought we'd try an easy faction today, and then we threw that out the window and decided to do Milites Christi. So let's do Milites Christi today, JP.
Right. Oh yeah, let's do it. We are talking about the Milites Christi, so it's kind of I suppose one of the poster childs, right, of the age. It's one of the few uniformed factions in Saga.
Yeah.
So these are the Templars, or the various orders, military orders, who settled in either the Levantine area, or I guess even I see people playing the ones on the Iberian Peninsula as well. The name escapes me, but the one with the green one. So it's relatively flexible in terms of that. And it's also really good because it's an incredibly limited unit choice in terms of just having a very compact army. Not
very
going
chill.
Absolutely nuts. So that makes it easier. Let's get into the unit options. So
yes,
this is going to be very quick. So Warlord and Hearthguard can only be mounted on horse. No options except for that. And then your warriors either can be mounted on horse, have no special equipment, and be on foot, or they can have crossbows. And you can't have more crossbows than you have Hearthguard figures, and that's it. No levy, no levy, basically. And that's the fluff reason for that is that these are professional soldiers and not amateurs. So we don't have time for levies. They are serious people.
Yeah, we don't do levies here.
Yeah, so I think that makes it really, compact. Basically, lots of Hearthguard. If you like Hearthguard, this is the one for you. So there are some things on the board to make it a little bit more survivable, or much more survivable even. So
yes.
Let's dive into the board. Do you want to? Actually, I think traditionally I do the
I can't do basic actions.
So why?
Yeah.
Why after all these episodes change it? So the first two with the Hearthguard and Heroes and the Warriors are exactly as usual. So you've got your brothers and your sergeants, and then this is where it starts to get interesting. So where the levy should be, you have a ability called Orison, either using an uncommon or a rare. And it's a melee or a shooting reaction ability. So after the enemy has rolled their attack dice, automatically cancel an enemy hit to if you used a rare. So you basically have to decide, assume this is like the combat bonus. You have to, just like when you take, you choose how many defense dice you take, you take a risk and you assume that they're going to hit a number of times. You take away those dice. That's how many hits have been cancelled. So it's an incredibly powerful ability because it's you get your armor save first, or I guess you get your they have to hit you first, and then you can do the hits themselves. So it's pretty snazzy, and the entire mechanic of the board is around this. So it's we're going to be referencing back to this a lot during the description of the board. So keep that one in mind. And then the other ones, the combat bonus and the activation pool, are as with all the other boards. So nothing special there. So only the levy placed, which makes it interesting because there are some mercenaries which are levies, and that makes it a little bit difficult to
activate them.
Well, I guess you have your deter or your we obey, but that's about it. But it gets really limiting. So probably not the best choice.
All right, so the first advanced ability is called Resolve. It takes a common or an uncommon, and it's a melee or shooting reaction. It says take 2 available Saga dice and place them on the Orison ability with the uncommon face up. So you can turn 2 of your Saga dice you can turn 1 of your Saga dice into 2. And then of course what we didn't talk about yet, or we haven't talked about, is that Orison obviously is really good with Hearthguard, right? Because the amount of hits they generate on you is obviously just much lower than it would be with, I don't know, levies or something. Not that they could take any, or can't take any, but still. So yeah, you kind of use Resolve to refresh in the amount of Saga dice you have to be a bit more defensive. Good ability. I think it gets played a lot.
Yeah, definitely. All right, the next one is Lines at War. This is using either an uncommon or a rare. So it's an activation reaction. Trigger this ability after an enemy activates 2 charge, but before the charge is resolved. The unit charged during this activation gets 4 bonus attack dice, 6 if you used a rare. I mean, yes, this is, I think later on in the board, there's actually quite a few ways of getting a decent amount of attack dice. I think this one's pretty vanilla. Uncommon for 4 dice is, I guess it's a little bit on the expensive side, to be honest. Yeah, so it's okay. I mean, it's relatively expensive compared to some of the other ones. Normally, it's like 1 common for 3 attack dice. I think that's kind of the exchange rate you normally go with. And then I'm not even sure you would use a rare on this. I think your rares will probably go to Arson over this, but it's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, so I think the rate is okay, right? It's an uncommon for 4 bonus attack dice, and notably this works on your mercenaries as well. So having those guys be charged is no problem, which feels nice. You can bring mercenaries with this, and then have an advanced ability to make them more deadly, I guess. So I think it's quite flexible, and also being able to react whenever you see okay, this is a charge that's not super relevant. Then you don't need to use these dice. I don't think it's a bad ability. I think I like the uncommon on here, but the problem is the board eats uncommons like, I don't know, fresh bread. It's insane. So might be a tough fight.
Yeah. Also, the timing of this. This is right after. Yeah. You get the 4 bonus attack dice already. That's not great for your warlord. And then also, I guess, remind me on the timing of the bonus attack dice. Do you get that before or after you close ranks? You get them before, right?
Yeah, you get them before.
Yeah, so that's a little bit unfortunate as well, because I guess the only guys who can close ranks are your warriors on foot with no special equipment. And then this would be pretty good if you could do it after.
Yeah, you're right.
After closing ranks. So it's a little bit unfortunate because you're going to lose half of them if you want to close ranks with your the only guys who can. I guess you have so many mounted units anyway that you probably won't, so you just do more damage. So I guess that's a little bit of a downside, but it's I mean, it's okay.
But you're absolutely right there as well, because the Hearthguard, I mean, we've seen it a million times before. Hearthguard don't always die from 4 or 6 guys straight down to 0, but it's different. The like 1 or 2 Hearthguard running around is definitely a thing, and then that also doesn't work on these guys. Even though 2 Hearthguard, even though they generate 4 attack dice, can't gain 2 bonus attack dice. So yeah, you're right. This better than now that we talked about it. It's kind of meh.
Yeah, I mean, early game, yes. Late game,
yeah,
you're kind of out of luck.
But late game, you need these abilities that really punch. For like a common, they generate 3 attack dice. That's the abilities that win the late game. So yeah, all right. Next up is called Deus Vult. It takes a common or an uncommon. It's a melee ability for Hearthguards or heroes only. It says, if the enemy unit is made up of levies, add 3 automatic hits to your attack roll. 6 hits if your unit is made up of at least 6 figures. Okay.
I like this one.
So I think we can talk about the 6 Hearthguard obviously love this, and not that they need this, but this would also work with the with the bodyguards. Because it's still a hero unit, right? Did I get that right now?
I don't even dare to say anymore.
Yeah, okay. Let's skip the bodyguards. So of course you do it on a 6 stack of Hearthguard, and they absolutely wreck levies. What the heck? So yeah, I mean that's pre FAQ, that's post FAQ. It's just a bit different, but yeah, it's a great levy killer.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're going to be rolling up with a bunch of Hearthguard, and generally you don't want to run your Hearthguard into levies because they're just going to get bogged down. But this, yeah, you're going to get your attack dice, and then you just get automatic hits on top of that. So you're bound to delete, because I think even with an 8-man pack of Hearthguard, it's pretty tough to get rid of those 12 guys. You're always going to fluff some rolls, or there's some lucky saves or something, and then this just this just reduces the chance of you just bouncing and being stuck. So good, I like this one. This is pretty tasty. The next one is Spilt Blood. It's within uncommon. It's a melee ability. The armor of the enemy unit cannot increase during this melee. Roll 1 available side on the arson ability. So it's basically a free dice almost with what you can do with arson. So I think this one's a auto one basically. You obviously want to play it beforehand. That way they cannot. Well, I guess there's 2 options here, right? They're gonna use your fatigue if you have it to decrease your armor, since they can't increase theirs. But then it's a little bit balanced out because you can place an arson dice on there, so it makes up for it a little bit. So it's kind of a nice balanced ability. I think overall, especially if you go in fresh, this is going to be pretty devastating.
Yeah, I mean, if you go in fresh, then they wouldn't have anything to increase their armor with anyway.
So you don't want to go in fresh. That's correct.
But no, I mean, you kind of do want to go in fresh against some factions, right? That can increase their armor anyway. So yeah, this is since it's free, it looks kind of niche, I think, but then it really isn't. Because in situations where you want to kill the warlord, or where you want to kill the last Hearthguard, or I've said it so many times before, but it's Saga. It's usually it's one of 2 things. You either want to live or you want to kill something. It's rarely in the same combat both matter. So, or yeah, it's more rare. But it does come up. But so this can be super helpful in, you're charging your 2 fatigue Hearthguard into the enemy warlord to finish him off, and it would be super annoying if he could take your fatigue off and be harder to hit. And so you play this and make sure he stays on 5s, and then of course he's going to take the fatigue to or your fatigue to reduce your armor. But I mean, killing a warlord is still good. So yeah, I think this one's really cool.
Yeah, I guess it also eliminates the possibility of having like the auto fail of attacks.
Yeah. You're right. Yes.
So that's a positive, especially because you're going to be probably outnumbered in terms of the number of units you put on the board. So your units are gonna have to do a lot of work compared to your opponent's units. So potentially this could be, it's not like an auto charge and then they get no hits back. So pretty niche though, pretty niche.
Yeah. All right, next up is the Lord's Harvest. Great names, by the way. Spilled Blood, the Lord's Harvest. Lambs of Peace is the next one. Damn. All right, it for Hearthguards Oros again. That takes 2 uncommons. Very expensive on this board. And it says gain an attack die for each unit in the enemy warband, maximum of 6. But then again, this usually is 6 attack dice. And 6 attack dice for 2 uncommons is expensive, but not terrible.
I'm not sure if I've actually seen this one played. This one hasn't been FAQ'd, and I don't remember this being played ever. Maybe once? I don't know.
I mean, the two uncommons are just very expensive for the board, right?
Yeah, because if you're just scanning the board, I think every single one of these abilities, bar one, has can be triggered with an uncommon. So it's just really painful. It reduces, I guess, if you roll only uncommons, then it's okay. But yeah, it's not amazing. Okay, interesting. Next one, Lambs of Peace. It's either a common or an uncommon. It's a melee ability. All units in the melee increase their armor by 1, or parentheses, or 2 if the enemy unit contains more figures than yours. I guess this is
what is this?
This is the one where you don't kill anyone. So this is good for you because sometimes you want to survive. Paraphrasing your philosophy of Saga. Especially if you're going to be closing ranks, like who cares? I guess your warriors are going to be incredibly powerful, and then also, I think this is interesting, right? This is basically like closing ranks for your own guys. You're not going to do much damage back, except triggering some abilities. But
I mean, this is obviously made to be played with Spilled Blood, right? It says the enemy unit cannot increase their armor during this melee, and then you have an ability that increases all units' armor by 2. Shocker. What do we do with this? So obviously,
I feel like you were waiting for me to make the connection, but I was not making that connection. Yes, now that you say it, it's I'm glad you mentioned it, Tim. This sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, yes. So that's the thing, right? That's the whole super great combo with this board, and even better with if you can do more, you can do less. Because yes, your Hearthguard, they're gonna charge in, and then you're gonna play Spilled Blood, and then if you have 1 fatigue, and then if your opponent does take your fatigue, you just increase it back up to 6, and if your opponent doesn't take the fatigue, you just pass. So yeah, you roll in with 1 fatigue and it does nothing. This is great, and it takes a calm, and heck yeah, man, this is great.
All right, never mind. Just follow whatever Tim says. I'm just here for the fluff.
All right, back to you, JP.
No, I was butchering the Lambs of Peace, so to speak. So you're up next.
No way, right? Did we mess up before?
No.
No, you're absolutely right. All right, I just wanted to dodge this name. It's Beaucont. Beaucient. I'm going to stay with Beaucient. I don't know why that would be French, but right, it takes an uncommon or a rare. It's a melee ability that says your unit gains 3 attack dice, 5 if the enemy unit contains more figures than yours. So no bonus for putting a rare on here, but here the rate is an uncommon for 5 attack dice, which holy dooly, that's a good one.
Yeah, this one's tasty. Okay. The assumption here is that you're going to always be outnumbered, which is a pretty safe assumption most of the time.
Yes.
So that's not a bad thing. And then also, I guess you can, this is no bonus or any other thing, so you can slap it onto your warlord as well. So that's even better.
Who I think Charisma does say it looks at it is relevant for saga abilities, right? So he would still count as a unit of 4. To check if you have more, the enemy unit is bigger than or contains more figures than yours. So you need to fight a unit of 5 at least, which is very easy in Saga.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. Next one, Martyrs. It's using a common or an uncommon. Again, I feel like we're saying that a lot this board. It's a melee or shooting reaction. So at the end of the shooting attack or melee, take one of your available Saga dice for each figure removed from your unit as casualty. Place them on your Arson ability. Uncommon dice face up. I mean, it sucks that you have to die to get this. So that's the downside. But I guess you're going to die anyway, right? It's just too bad your Arson ability triggers at the wrong period. You get the dice at the wrong period of time. I guess if you know you're going to die, I mean, there's probably some better places to place these dice, for example, on the Arson ability so that you don't die quite so much. I'm not really seeing this one, unless there's a obvious massive combo that we're missing here.
I mean,
I guess you can buff it up for the Divine Aid later on.
Yeah.
But then you're still dying in a warband with limited potential to die. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I think this can be quite interesting when you so say you have a turn lined up where you use most of your dice and you have this left and then like 2 activations. You activate your unit of warriors to charge in somewhere, and as we all know, when charging, that's basically the moment where you take the most casualties because you're not closing ranks. You usually don't have that many defensive abilities on the charge. And so playing Martyrs just helps to refill your dice, because they're going to die anyway, and you don't really mind because you're charging for a reason, right? And then the next charge, you can even pump up this charge with attack dice or something. And then on the next charge, you have presumably full board and maybe 5 or 6 dice because 5 or 6 warriors died. And then your next charge is basically your Hearthguard or whoever you're charging next. They are invincible. And so they charge, and as I said before, this is the moment where you usually lose the most guys, but charging with a lot of Orison up just makes you invincible. So I think that's this ability is one of the reasons why you want to bring warriors, right? Because using warriors as a shield or warriors as literally as martyrs just is really, really good.
I guess the downside here is that you actually have to trigger quite a few abilities to have the available Saga dice to place on Arson. So you're going to be you're going to be triggering 1 dice to charge them. Let's say if you're not using anything else, you're going to have to like buff them up in terms of attack dice. So I guess the Bosant or something. Actually, no, you probably don't want to do Bosant because you're going to be charging with warriors, so you might not be outnumbered. So I think it's actually going to be logistically quite difficult to get the available Saga dice to put on Arson, unless you do it late game or late in your turn, and you buff it up your opponent's turn, like you said. So I think that's probably the more, you just blow everything and then you just go absolutely, you just have a full Arson, eight dice on Arson.
And yes. And I mean that the ability also is really challenging to play around, right? Because if you see your opponent has this up, then when they come charging in with their warriors, do you close ranks? You probably do because you don't want to kill as many. But if they have this up defensively, then do you really want to do 2 charges in 1 turn? Like, how do you play around having a second combat just potentially bounce off their unit? I think this is an interesting ability. All right, next one is Unbended Knee. It's an Orders ability that can take any die facing. So not just a common or an uncommon. It says take up to 3 of your available saga dice and place them on the Orison ability, the uncommon face up. If you used a rare, put this discarded die on the Orison ability. So then you get 3 uncommons and a rare. So you from 1 die you generate 4. And then it says you may not activate any units to charge this turn. So notably, charge is only charge. You can still shoot. Because I guess there you are on bended knee and taking aim. But yeah, this is in the late game. This is super annoying because it's insane value, and you might not want to charge anyway. Maybe you want to rest or something. I've seen this played a lot. And then if you have a turn where you set up perfectly, then you don't play this and you punch face.
Yeah, this was quite interesting. I guess it's boosts your arson. Okay, interesting. Next one. It's actually it's a second 2 dice ability. So this is using 2 common dice. It's called Divine Aid. It's a melee ability, and it's been FU'd. I have no idea what it used to be. So add 1 automatic hit to your attack roll for each die currently on the Arson ability, with a max of 3 additional hits. Nice. Okay, you probably will be rocking the Arson with like at least 3 dice. If you're charging in, you charge in. You haven't used your Arson yet, so you will definitely get your 3 additional hits. I guess it's pretty expensive for the old 2 common dice.
Yeah,
but
especially.
But on the other hand, it is automatic hits. You know, like you do this against a warlord or something. Your warlord can go into your opponent's warlord and pre-auto hits already. That's pretty sick. And then you play Arson and nothing happens to you. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's expensive, but good.
The thing, right? These guys have a great tool with Deus Vult to go into, and they have a great tool with Divine Aid to go against Hearthguard and Warlords. But the most common unit type, Warriors, they don't really have anything to really help them with them, which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I guess except for like getting the additional dice if you're outnumbered, which you normally will be against the Warriors, but then still they're still hitting you like with 12 dice or whatever, so that's painful. But I guess that's the implicit buff there. But yeah, it's I think they're kind of like the Levy murderers with the Deus Vult, and then also the heavy armor killers with the Divine Aid. So that's pretty
sick.
And I guess the Spilt Blood and stuff like that. That's pretty sick. So I don't know. It's an interesting little board. I have definitely been beaten by it before.
I mean,
I get the feeling that the FAQs have made it more or better. They used to be kind of considered weak, and then I got my ass absolutely handed to me by
in Poland by Michał.
Yeah, in Poland, and I was like, "What happened to me? I thought they were weak. They were not weak. So don't do what I did." All right, how are we building this?
My head. So
are we building our Milites Christi friends?
I mean, I think I'll just give the warband that Michał played, because that seemed to be very good, and I think he had the Western Knight mercenaries, the ones that can activate for short, I think. And he played like an 8-stack of Hearthguard and a 6-stack of Hearthguard, and then the rest warriors, and they were all on horses as well. I think. Do you remember it differently, JP?
It's quite a few years ago. I know he had the mercenaries, the Western Knight mercenaries, and they were surprisingly solid with this. I guess the Arson is also can be used on mercenaries, and then they're already almost impossible to kill with like all the armor buffs that they have, and then Arson on top means that you are not getting rid of these guys. So it's a good way of like anchoring an entire half of the board with with like a unit of 8 guys on foot. And then yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing they were all on foot. I think he may have had like one unit of warriors with crossbows just for some shooting. And then even there, I guess the plus side of having so little options is that yeah, you just can take Hearthguards and warriors, right? Like what else are you gonna take? So you can just switch them out
Yeah.
if someone needs to be shot, and then you can just put down some guys with crossbows. If he's doesn't need to be shot, then you don't need to do it. So I think that's kind of like the hidden thing. Like you don't need to think too hard about it. Just go with the flow.
If someone needs to be shot, then yeah. I think that might be my favorite quote so far. Yeah. So I think one very popular thing with these guys are the adults. I can't remember if they're allowed to take them. But I think the Turcopals also.
We need to avoid debacles, and I will check the table right now.
All right, do it. Yeah, I think I saw someone play them with the monks before, and just activate the monks once per turn, and that wasn't too great.
The Turcopals.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's a thing. I think that's a thing that people do. Bring the Turcopals, make your units absolutely untouchable in shooting, and then in melee, it's annoying to kill them as well. And the Turcopals can benefit from Orison, and they can, if they do get caught out, they can benefit from and really well as well, they can benefit from the Lions at War. So I think that's a thing that people do.
Yeah, all right. I think that's. I mean, you don't have that many options, so just go nuts. I think in terms of model options, I think Gripping Beast still has like the metal models. I think they're okay if you're into metal, and then what people are, I suppose, gravitating to at the moment are more the Victrix models, and also War Games Atlantic has like the Baron's War mounted knights with like the little, it's called the barding, so you can get like nice paint.
Yeah.
Good fancy paint job on them, and then also they have the mounted sergeants, which are also in a really good style. So I think, yeah, you like plenty of options. I guess you can go, especially if you want to go plastic. Victrix has all the options. I think they even have like the crossbows that you can use. So I guess you buy those 3 kits and you're probably good to go. And then War Games Atlantic also has kind of like men at arms, or kind of sergeants with crossbows, sergeants on horses, sergeants on foot, and then mounted. So those are pretty nice models. I think it just depends on whatever your artistic are.
Yeah.
Or has like metal Iron's War ones if you like metal. So yeah, loads of options.
Maybe it's time for an episode that goes into if metal models are still worth it in the hobby in 2026.
Yeah, man, that's a. I like metal models, but I also chipping is a thing.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I'm kind of over. Like, I'm really happy with my metal warbands, and I've got a ton of metal warbands. But also transportation and the quality of the plastic's just insane at the moment. I'm not even sure we need an episode at the moment. I'm kind of getting off Victrix because there's just something in their designs. It's just too soulless. I do like the War Games Atlantic ones; those look really nice.
Yeah.
They just have a little bit more fluidity, I guess. Or maybe I've just painted too many Victrix models and they just start to get a bit samey. So I don't know. But I think the conclusion here is plenty of options to go around.
I mean, it's a good time to play Saga. I feel in the past 4 years or something, millions have come out and made the hobby more of War Games Atlantic and Victrix, and I think we're complaining in a situation where we would have been people ever if those kits were out like 5 years ago, right? So I think it's pretty nice to have all these different options now and even have a choice. And the obviously right choice is to not pick metals, but that comes from a player that started playing like 4 years ago.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. I find it so difficult to actually pick metal models now compared to all of the alternatives. So
yeah,
I feel kind of bad. Because they are. I think the metal ones they normally have to be less detailed, but then more. I don't know. I think sometimes it feels like they have more artistic merit because they're more.
I agree. They have more character,
they have
right?
Yeah, they have more character, and stylistically, you have to work with like the material and choose what details you do put on or leave off. And plastic is so you can get basically they can sculpt it at like whatever scale on 3D 3D whatever design programs, and then just scale it down, and then you have on it, which sometimes gets a little bit too busy, especially with the Victrix models. I think War Games Atlantic have found like a good happy medium, like between the gripping beast Dark Age Warrior on one side, and then like the kind of like the 50 billion folds of cloth on the Victrix side. I think for me at least that's the happy medium. But I think
yeah.
I mean the Victrix ones, if you paint them well, they look really nice anyway. So all right, I think we've strayed from
enough rambling
to be. Yeah. All right. To the key part of the episode. What are we rating this warband out of, and what is the measure we're rating them on?
I think I would rate them on a scale of 1 to 5 mud-soaked knees. I would rate them 3.
All right. I'd rate them painting potential. 4 out of 5 Jerusalems. However, play style, I think 3 out of 5 Jerusalems.
Maybe 2.5 even, right? Because they're so limited.
Yeah, 2.5.
They're basically mostly.
You're going to be doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just going to choose one build, and then that's going to be it, I think. So, yeah. So on average, 3 point something.
Not
seems
bad.
Fair. It seems fair. All right. No, I think they're fine. I think it's also like a poster child, and then it's really easy to slot them into like using them as Crusaders or Ordenstadt or whatever. So it's not like you're painting these and not using them for anything else if you want to branch out. So that's pretty flexible. Awesome. It's late. I am going to go to bed, but thank you for listening.
Right. Yes.
Hopefully no critical failures on this episode.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening in, and see you in the next episode. Hopefully, exactly 2 weeks from today when you listen to this. Oh, and one thing I didn't want to forget. Please come to the Dritter Schlacht am Teutoburger Wald. It's the third battle at Teutoburg Forest, the historic location near Osnabrück. It's near my hometown, I guess. And I'm hosting a tournament for up to 35 people here, or 36 people here in Osnabrück, and 20 people signed up already, but there's plenty more space, and the more the merrier. So please feel free to come join us. All right, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.